What is up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today we are starting with the continued heated exchange between Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. As Conor McGregor embarks on what he calls a spiritual journey, it seems he still cannot move past his issues with Khabib. Recently McGregor accused Khabib of scamming fans by selling digital Papaka NFTs which reportedly earned Khabib $4.3 million. Khabib fired back by reminding Conor that he was dominated in the octagon. McGregor then escalated things by criticizing Khabib for using his late father's name in the promotion and accused him of scamming fans. Khabib responded by saying his real work is helping former addicts through his rehabilitation centers in Dagestan and invited McGregor to visit. McGregor continued the exchange by accusing Khabib of dishonesty and tax evasion and mocked the Papaka sales again. Many fans pointed out that McGregor previously promoted a cryptocurrency project called Real which failed to meet its fundraising goal. However, investors were refunded, so it was not considered a scam. In other news, Khamzat Chimaev has agreed to fight Nasruddin Imavov after Ramadan, which ends on March 19, 2026. Imavov stated he is focused only on a title shot and is willing to wait. Chimaev responded by saying he will see Imavov after Ramadan and told him to improve his wrestling. Meanwhile, Daniel Cormier has once again taken aim at Jon Jones on Instagram. While Jones was attending an event in Chechnya, Daniel Cormier questioned why Jones was not spending Thanksgiving with his family. Their rivalry continues to spark personal comments from both sides, and fans remain divided on whether Cormier should leave Jones alone or if the back and forth is simply part of their history.
I want to take the time out to say a happy Thanksgiving to the people who are not with their friends and family today. Happy Thanksgiving. And if no one tells you that they love you today, I love you, and Dutch loves you. Ain't that right, Dutch? That's right. Have a blessed day. We love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
And if no one tells you they love you today, I love you and Dutch loves you too. That is right, Dutch. Have a blessed day. We love you and happy Thanksgiving. Now let us get into the UFC updates. Following UFC Qatar, the UFC has released Marek Bilo from the roster. According to his manager Bartosz Borkiak, he was cut after declining a quick turnaround fight at UFC 324. Bilo lost to Denzel Freeman in Qatar and was reportedly dealing with an injury after the bout. Because of that, he did not want to accept a fight on 2 weeks' notice. His manager claims that decision led to his release. It is important to note this explanation comes from the fighter's side, and the UFC has not publicly confirmed the exact reason. Former UFC fighter Chris Barnett has already signed with a new promotion. After his loss to Hamdi Abdelwahab at UFC 321, Barnett was released from the organization. He has now signed with Karate Combat and is scheduled to make his debut on December 5th against Jonathan Miller. There is also some confusion surrounding Muhammad Mokav. Although he was released from the UFC, he was never fully removed from the roster and was listed as inactive. Fans recently noticed that he is now appearing as active on the UFC website, which sparked speculation about a possible return. Mokav responded to a fan by joking that it might be an early birthday present. However, Tom Feely from Sherdog suggested it could simply be a website error following a recent update. In more positive news, Dustin Poirier and his wife Jolie Poirier have welcomed a baby boy. Poirier shared the announcement on X, and Jolie revealed on Instagram that their son arrived 2 weeks earlier than expected. They named him Kingston Cade Poirier. Congratulations to the Poirier family. Cristiano Ronaldo has also made headlines after announcing that he has become a shareholder in WOW FC, which is a Spanish MMA promotion. Ronaldo previously revealed he was involved with the organization in 2024 and has now confirmed his ownership stake. He stated that he believes in the values of discipline, respect, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence, and is proud to help grow the sport. The promotion welcomed him publicly after the announcement. Looking ahead to UFC 323, Alexander Pantoja will defend his title against Joshua Van. Van recently addressed comments framing the fight as old school versus new school. He said he does not like that narrative and believes he can finish Pantoja within 3 rounds, although he is fully prepared for a 5-round battle. Van stated that he expects the best version of Pantoja and is ready for whatever he brings on fight night. Pantoja also mentioned in a recent interview that he would like to help his teammate Kyoji Horiguchi earn a flyweight title shot in the future. If Pantoja defeats Joshua Van at UFC 323, he believes he can push for that matchup next.
Talk about he went back to UFC, what I think about, and I talk with him like, if you want, go to UFC to try to take this belt. I'm gonna help you to conquer that, you know. Of course, I have Joshua one first, but I think if one day I'm fighting to Kyoji Riguchi, it's gonna be for the title, of course. But I need understand in my mind, because I love this guy so much. It's gonna be hard to me thinking about hurt him in the fight. I know it's gonna be friendly fight. I think I can make a lot of trash talk with Kyoji. Kyoji may help me a lot. I believe Kyoji is one of the reasons I'm the champion of the world right now.
Tyron Woodley believes Islam Makhachev is still in Khabib Nurmagomedov's shadow. Now that Islam Makhachev has become a two-division UFC champion, many fans have started debating whether his legacy now compares to that of his longtime friend and mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov. However, Tyron Woodley does not believe Islam has surpassed Khabib. Since Makhachev joined the UFC, he has constantly been linked to Khabib. For years it has been difficult to mention Islam without also mentioning Khabib. Even though Makhachev does not have an undefeated record like Khabib, he has achieved something Khabib never did by winning both the UFC lightweight and welterweight titles. Despite that, Woodley recently said in an interview with new betting sites that he still views Khabib's legacy as greater. Woodley explained that when he hears Islam's name, he immediately thinks of Khabib and views him as Khabib's protege. He also stated that Islam did not defeat him for a welterweight title and did not beat Georges St. Pierre. Woodley added that Islam is still fairly unknown internationally compared to Khabib, and argued that one of his recent title wins came against a stylistically favorable opponent. For those reasons, Woodley feels Islam remains in Khabib's shadow. It is an interesting debate. Islam defended the lightweight title 4 times while Khabib defended it 3 times. However, Khabib retired with a perfect record of 29 wins and no losses, which remains a powerful argument when comparing their careers. Woodley is now preparing for his own big fight. He has stepped in to replace Chris Weidman in a boxing match against Anderson Silva. The fight will take place on December 19th in Miami as part of a Netflix card headlined by Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua. Silva said he believes change happens for a reason and that he plans to show respect to both his opponent and the sport of boxing. Woodley responded by saying that rising to moments like this is how legends are made. In other news, Dana White made a major announcement during the Cowboys vs. Chiefs game. The UFC revealed ahead of time that Dana would go live on Instagram during halftime. A promotional trailer also aired highlighting the new Paramount deal and featured Ilia Topuria facing off with Paddy Pimblett. During the broadcast, Dana White confirmed that the main event for UFC 324 will be Paddy Pimblett vs. Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title. He also announced that the UFC 325 main event will feature Alexander Volkanovski vs. Diego Lopez, with that event taking place the following week.
Obviously, you just saw Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the interim title. Earlier, Topuria posted, "I'm dealing with some personal problems, so I'm not gonna fight the first quarter." So the winner of Gaethje versus Paddy will be the interim title, and then they will face Topuria. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight title. That's a fight, Kayla, it's her first title defense. After beating Juliana Pena, she comes back to take on Kayla Harrison. No way in hell that fight isn't incredible. O'Malley and Song Yadong. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Waldo coming off a win a week ago. Took the fight on 2 days' notice. Comes in and wins by knockout, and coming off the eye poke knockout win. This guy's having a great year. And him and Derek Lewis is going to be fun as hell. Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. Alexa Grasso versus Rose Namajunas. And just added like an hour ago, 2 hours ago, however long ago, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Figueiredo. Fight is also on the card. And I'm going to announce this for you. 1 week later, we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez on Paramount Plus. So that's January 31st, UFC 325.
As Dana White mentioned, Ilia Topuria is currently dealing with personal matters. Just before the announcement, Topuria shared a statement saying he will not be fighting in the first quarter of next year. He explained that he is going through a difficult time in his personal life and wants to focus on his children while resolving the situation as soon as possible. He also stated that he does not want to hold up the division and that the UFC should move forward with the necessary matchups. Once everything is settled, he plans to inform the UFC that he is ready to return. Max Holloway reacted to Topuria's message by offering his support. Holloway wrote that he was sorry to hear the news and said that if the situation is what he believes it to be, he understands the struggle of trying to compete while protecting your children. He wished Topuria and his family the best. Topuria responded by thanking Holloway for the support and returned the well wishes to him and his family.